music isn't just heard, it's felt. It's felt.
Turn up the volume, sit back, and let the sonic magic take over. This is the
What's going on, guys? This is Aaron, and welcome to Aurora Music Night Show. Once again, recording all the producers, DJs, songwriters here at this beautiful show, and inviting everybody that has a talent within the music to come in and join us for a free interview, of course, to you guys. A big shout out to Curtis. Couldn't be here today, busy doing some projects, but big shout out to you, my boy. Also, big shout out to Compa H and the cameras. And tonight, it's a big night. One of my good friends coming from very far, A-Town, Aurora, DJ DRO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling, bro?
Good, bro. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. Feeling good.
For sure, man. Thank you for coming, for accepting the invitation. People, out there want to know your story and how'd you guys started. And let's start, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was funny because I did the little intro mix with this board, and this board is like 5 years old. It's like the first one I bought, and it's funny enough that I still have. I'm surprised it even works. We had to use it in an emergency last week, and man, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna hold up, but I'm like, whatever, like we'll use it. But this was like my first board, and man, I started when I was like 19. When I first got inspired by it was like coming straight out of high school. That phase you had when you're going like parties and stuff. And one instance, I remember I got somehow I got my phone connected to the Bluetooth speaker, so I had everybody telling me, oh, play this thing, play this song, play that song. I was picking songs, people were having a good time, and that really made me kind of really like it. Like, oh wow, like people get like really pumped up when you play a good song. Like first one thing they're chilling, the next song you got everybody jumping in a huge crowd, a mosh pit. So that really inspired me to wanna start DJing. So from there I kind of started investing into equipment, seeing what was the best option, what was the best equipment for me to buy. It slowly started to build my portfolio, start doing my own events, from backyard parties to small little graduation parties, stuff like that, just to kind of get myself familiar with the whole environment, because I was nobody had ever shown me anything like this, so I kind of had to figure everything out on my own in the beginning. So that's kind of how I initially started.
Got it, man. No, thanks for sharing. People out there that want to hire you, man, for either private events or even at the clubs, how can they find you, bro, in social media?
Yeah, so all my social media is just under DJ DRO on Instagram and Facebook. So if anybody wants to search it up, just like that, DJ DRO, they'll be able to find me.
Cool, man. What about fans out there that are seeing you on social media and really want to, get to vibe with you and dance? And how can they know the next events or come to see you live? Where can people see you?
Yeah, so I mean, my home base is here in downtown Aurora, the best spot. We got here at Ballydo's. Same thing, if you stay up to date with my social media, I tend to post on a daily basis where I'm going to be at the following weekend. If you're not able to catch me the week of, maybe the following week you'll be able to catch me. So I try to stay pretty active on there, just because I do have a lot of people ask me like, hey, where are you going to be at? Hey, when are you going to come back to this spot? So it's really important to stay up to date on your social media, and make sure you kind of post on a daily basis. Keep your people, keep feeding your people and that content. So
got it, man. And to get better in what you do DJing, who do you look up to? What do you do to get prepared to when you get into that club, into that board? How do you get there?
I mean, to start, the funny thing is I really just did it because I liked it. There was, like I said, this was all new to me. I didn't really have anybody I looked up to as far as like a DJ. was just funny because, you know, you would think, oh, you have somebody you look up to. Like, I really didn't. You know, I just started because I like music, you know. But, you know, along the way, you start meeting friends, you start meeting people, you know, people that kind of inspire you. Oh, wow, I want to do that. You know, nothing really crazy that stands out. But for sure, when as far as like, you know, preparing for a gig, definitely doing your research. And, you know, if you can go to a venue, go there beforehand so you can kind of feel out the vibe, you know, so you don't kind of go in blindsided. That's one thing you could do. I try to do that when I can, you know, just because we are pretty busy. I kind of get limited. I kind of just go the day of and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely I talk to the promoters, you know, talk to the people who have already been there,
Yeah.
get a feel for it. That way you're prepared because, like I said, you don't want to go in blindsided and it's going to be really tough for you. So that's what I do. And then, you know, work on my music, practice at home. I think that's really the best way to get prepared for.
When
for
you
a
say
gig.
practice, how long do you practice?
I try to, like, going back to, you know, I get really busy. Sometimes we got stuff going on from Thursday to Sunday. Anytime I get a chance, I try to go out and network. So, you know, it takes up a lot of my time. I try to get in like hour and a half session at least once a day if I get the chance. And that's only one part of it. You know, you have to look for music. You know, you have to, you know, find different edits. You know, look into new spots. You know, that's another story. But just mixing itself. When I got my music ready to go, I want to say I try to get in an hour and a half at least once a day. You know, that way, you know, just stay consistent with it. And, you know, because if I let myself, I'll just not like DJ till the weekend up, and I don't like doing that. You know, I want to be sharp. So if I could do it every day, I try to do it every day, at least like an hour and a half.
That's awesome, bro. The reason I'm asking is because there's youngsters out there that you know are looking always for mentors or people. How can I do it, man? And this is a great podcast. You know, people are gonna see either tomorrow or maybe in a few years,
Right?
And they're gonna look at it and see how you did it. You know, because later on they're gonna see you in the top, you know, in the top,
Yeah.
and they're gonna say, man, I really want to be like this guy, how he did it. What do you say to those youngsters that are starting and that are going your path?
I mean, really, I'd say the first thing is, you know, don't worry about the equipment. Don't try to buy a $2,000 controller. With what you have, you know, this is a $300 board. You could probably find the used one for like $100. Don't worry. That was me in the beginning. I was worried about the equipment. Oh, I want the nicest equipment. I just spent like $1,200 like 6 months ago on a new board. So it doesn't really matter. I think that's also a big misconception. Just practice and network. You know, network can open doors for you that your skills won't be able to. You know, if you know the right person, they'll put you in the right spot. And if you got the right skills, you know, you practice enough, you know, you'll last for a very long time in the industry. And, you know, and lastly, I would say don't be afraid to ask. I told myself this year I was gonna pressure myself to put, you know, kind of throw me into different scenes, I guess you can say, different spots by just asking. Sometimes we're so scared to ask because we're afraid they're gonna say no, but at the end of the day, like, what do you have to lose, you know?
Right.
So now, as of lately, I've been asking more people, hey man, you know, do you need anybody? I'm like, oh yeah, I do. Okay, cool. And before I wouldn't do that, you know, I would just kind of stay quiet.
You're shy.
You know, 'cause I'm.
What they're gonna say?
What are they gonna say? Oh, they're gonna make fun of me. Now I'm like, who cares? Like, you know, what if they say yeah to a big opportunity? I don't know. And that was, I think, my biggest like weakness is that I was kind of like timid in the industry, and I was afraid to ask, and I was afraid to get told no. I'd be like, oh no, like you know, it kind of like make me feel bad. But I think if you just go at it like that, practice, network, and, you know, ask people, you know, it's, you know, nothing's gonna happen if they say no. Like, you know, that I would say that if you focus on those three things, you can make it far and, you know, get to wherever you want to get to.
That's awesome. Good to hear, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, you know, I've been seeing you grow in the industry, and you know, the arrow is shooting somewhere, and we want to know what's the biggest shows coming up for you, man, this summer.
Yeah, this summer, man. I think the biggest show that like I'm gonna do. This is probably the biggest one I've ever done. Is gonna be that Reggaeton Beach Festival. You know, shout out to Bad Boy. He's the one that threw me in there. You know, gave me the opportunity, saw my vision, saw the potential, and, you know, thankfully there's people like that. You know, they give you a shot because it's not easy. You know, especially when you want to tap into the city. It's a hard game, and you know, for someone to really give you an opportunity is, you know, really, really nice. So that Reggaeton Beach Festival, it's July 19th. It's gonna be an awesome party. I got, you know, everybody's gonna go to it, 2 to 9 p.m. It's a day party on, not really a beach, but in Chicago, the lake.
Right.
So at I believe it's called Whispers. So it's gonna be really, really dope
So
experience.
get your
Get
tickets.
your tickets before they go up more, because
Yeah, right.
they're on the last couple tickets, so they're
For
gonna
sure.
keep going up, and it's gonna be a good time. So anybody looking to, you know, have some fun this summer, that's definitely gonna be a good spot to go to.
For
So,
sure, man. And if you following DJ Drill steps, you know, get your ticket, go manifest what you want to do, and for you
100%.
to be the next DJ.
Yeah.
Talking about manifesting, you know, what do you want in life, dude, going forward in the music industry?
You know, and before I get into that question, I want to bring that up, manifesting, because that's something I've been doing a lot this year. Like manifesting, you know, you attract, like we said before, you attract what you want.
Yeah.
And sometimes I tell myself, man, I really want to play there. And then the opportunity comes up and it's just there. And I'm like, man, if I feel like if I think it and I want it enough and I work hard enough, I will, you know, you'll get there, you know. So that's another thing. If you manifest what you want as a DJ, I think you'll get to any spot you want to, you know. So, and then as far as that, I mean, I want to just keep building my name, you know, playing at different venues, you know, collabing with different DJs, curating different events. You know, for me, it's like I'm never content. So I always want something else. The moment I feel comfortable is the moment I know something needs to change. I need to do something different. I need to work with another DJ, visit another venue. And for me, it's that, you know, be manifesting me working with other DJs and working at other venues. So I would say that.
Good to hear, man.
Yeah.
What do you do at home mentally, not practicing, but to get ready mentally?
Sleep.
Sleep. Okay. I
Sleep.
know you like to sleep a lot.
I do like to sleep, man, because we don't get to sleep in this industry. You
In the
know.
weekends is very hard.
It's
I know.
tough. Yeah, it's tough.
What's your schedule like in a busy weekend?
A
man?
busy weekend? Like sometimes we start as early as like on a Thursday, go to Thursday all the way to Sunday. You know, Thursday night. You know, get off I do have a day job right now, so I get off, go straight to the gig. Sometimes we're getting home like at 11, midnight, maybe 1 o'clock. Sometimes then the next day I gotta wake up for my day job. As soon as I get off, you know, I run to my next gig. So it's like it's constant just running back and forth. You know, I literally sometimes just get home to pick up my equipment, change, shower, and then boom, you know, it's time to go. So sometimes it's like that, like it's Thursday through Sunday. You know, I just like nobody even sees me. I just drop off my stuff and, you know, I'm
Go to
just
bed.
on my car. By the time it's Sunday, my car is trashed. There's like 3-4 different sets of clothes. You know, my room's a mess because I'm just throwing everything. I get home, sleep, shower, change, and, you know, repeat. So, you know, it can get really hectic, really stressful. And that's why I said sleep, because for me, it's like if I don't sleep, I'm in a bad mood. I don't feel good. And honestly, I don't know how some people, like, you know, work like that with 2 hours of sleep. 'Cause I'm going to go do this. I'm like, nah, I need my sleep. So I'll say that. And once I sleep good, you know, do anything. So,
Awesome, man. No, thanks for sharing. And
Yeah.
before we close out, you know, we want to remind people that this show, Aurora Music Night Show, is it was built to, you know, bring different artists, different DJs, producers, anything to do with music. We want to have you here, give you the opportunity to show your talent. To the Aurora community, the Chicago community, any city that we can reach to. We want to bring the talent here of music and show it out there. So before we end the show, DJ Joe, once again, how can people find you on social media?
DJ DRO, Instagram, Facebook, you'll be able to find me. So,
Awesome.
yes,
So
sir.
if you're a DJ out there, want to reach out to DJ Joe, he's available. Even though he's so busy, he'll
Yeah.
make time for you.
We'll make time. Yeah, we'll make
Yes.
time. I love collabing with people, working with different, you know, venues, you know, curating events. You know, I'm always open to collabing. So
And we love
100%.
to bring different DJs
to
here
Bally's.
at
Yeah,
Bally
if anybody's
Doyle's.
interested in coming down here to downtown Aurora, Bally's, you know, I'm always open to trying new DJs. You know, so that's always an option. You know, collabing with new DJs, bringing them to the spot. home
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, for sure, man. So once again, you know, I want to thank you, DJ Joe,
course, thank
for
you, bro.
know, giving your story. You know, people getting to know you and where you're gonna play, your vision, And so, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you for having
It's
me.
very nice working with
Yeah,
you.
likewise, bro.
We built an awesome team, and I
course.
think the team is growing.
Oh yeah,
Eventually,
100%.
and I wish you the best.
Likewise, bro.
All right. So thank you so much once again, Aurora Music Night Show, and we'll see you the next episode. Thank you.